With Thanksgiving just being a few days away, and thought of turkey and a well-earned nap is on everybody's mind, we saw it only fitting to present today's monster, the Cockatrice. Happy holidays to all of you out there in the YouTube multiverse. Rod here. Now, if you stay around till the end, I'm going to have a special announcement for everybody who's been asking me about my veterans group that I host. The Cockatrice has been a mainstay in Dungeons & Dragons since the original printing back in 1974. Described in the AD&D Monster Manual as the serpentine tail of a cockatrice is yellow-green. The feet and beak are yellow. Its wings are gray. Its feathers are a golden brown. And its wattle, comb, eyes, and tongue are red. Now, to me, this sounds like the description of something you'd find at a Chinese New Year celebration. Other information that I read states that the body is roughly the size of a goose or a turkey. And at first glance, you could mistake it for a very large chicken until you get a bit closer. Then you notice it has leathery bat-like wings and a lizard-like tail. This description seems to be more realistic to me, and it sounds like something that a mad mage would create in his laboratory. These creatures are found in temperate and tropical terrains. They're omnivorous, and they are flock animals. They stand roughly 3 feet tall. Now, providing the hen didn't abandon her nest or she was slain slightly after laying, there's only a grim 5% chance that that egg might have been fertilized. Now, if the hen was well hidden and allowed to set for the duration, there's a 65% chance of fertilization, and also 65% chance that fertilized egg is a rooster. Now, Cockatrice are immune to their own petrification powers, and with hens being the rare, they are the matriarch or the dominant of their species. It isn't often that she will be found or seen without her mate. Or maybe she's off watching her prospective mates fight to the death to win her favor. Now, not to sound like a play on words, but this creature is rather chicken and will flee from a fight unless you corner it. Then it's a very fierce opponent. In combat, the Cockatrice's first reaction is to do a wing buff or grapple its foe. This depends on which version of the game you're playing. Now, if the victim has exposed flesh, it is assumed that the Cockatrice automatically strikes the flesh. If the saving throw is failed, the victim is slowed. Now, this effect is the same thing as if a slow spell was cast on them. If there's a second failed saving throw attempt, the victim is then petrified. This petrification has the same effect as described for the transmutation spell Flesh to Stone. Fetching a very high bounty as an egg, or even a baby chick, and even higher for adults. The Cockatrice are sought after by mages, alchemists, and scribes. The feathers are part of the cure for the petrification if they're ground into a paste with mud and smeared all over the body of the petrified victim. They're also used by scribes because the magical properties will help with their scrolls. Well, according to legend, the burnt ashes of the Cockatrice are said to be a key ingredient in the creation of the legendary Philosopher's Stone. It's also said that the Cockatrice is sought after by royalty and even reptilian or serpent-type creatures or humanoids. Now, it sounded kind of funny to me at first, but then I got thinking about it. These could be exotic pets, and they could also be used as guard animals. What better to be a guard animal than to petrify something that's just trying to break into your place? After all, no one would expect to run into one of these creatures while committing a break-in and entering, say for a thieves' guild, or while entering a lizardman's compound. Unless, of course, you did your homework. I performed a thorough reconnaissance of the area. Who am I kidding? Only people with a military background would think of something like that. Speaking of military, now some of you have asked me about the Veterans D&D group that I host. Sometime this week, I'll be finishing up the part 1 video covering part of the progress up to this point. I'm sorry guys, HIPAA laws and VA policy prevent me from sharing names or taking photos or even getting footage of these games. But I can refer to them as the class they play by the individual and their progress through the campaign setting. As always, all of our reference materials are in the description area down there below, with links to DriveThruRPG for your convenience. And over here are a couple other videos that we've made that you might also find informative. Until next time, thank you for watching. Now grab that D8 and roll damage.